Hello children, I hope all of you are fine and brimming with energy. So welcome once again to your English literature class. So as you can see, we are now going to start with a new lesson this week, that is the Great Mouse Plot. So plot is a plan. So in this story, we will read about a plan of some small children. This is a very nice story, a plot written by Roald Dahl. You all must be knowing his name. He is a very famous writer. He writes stories for children. So let us move ahead and see what plans are going on in the story. Be ready with your books on page number 104. So you can see in the beginning it's written, a prank is a silly trick that you play on someone to surprise them. So this is basically a story of a trick, a joke. Sometimes, your friends, they play pranks on you, something mischievous, they will do something naughty just to try to fool you around. So this is a prank about some naughty, some mischievous children. So let us read about the prank of a group of friends played on someone they didn't like very much. So they have played this prank on someone they did not like. So first I am going to read what is written on this page and then I will be explaining. You need to pay attention to the correct pronunciation of the words, okay? My 4 friends and I had come across a loose floorboard at the back of the classroom. When we lifted it up, we discovered a hollow space underneath. This we decided would be our secret hiding place for sweets and other small treasures. Every afternoon, after the last lesson, we would wait until the classroom had emptied. Then we would lift up the floorboard and look at our secret collection. So here the speaker is telling about his 4 friends. My 4 friends and I, they have the floorboard of the room, the classroom. The floorboard is loose at a certain place. Some places you can just lift up. And when they lifted it up, they saw that there was a hollow space below. Underneath means below. This we decided would be a secret hiding place. So what these children used to do, they used to pick up the loose footboard of their classroom and hide all their sweets and small treasures. Small treasures that doesn't mean gold and silver. Whatever, for small children, even a beautiful pencil is a treasure. So all the treasures they used to hide there. And every afternoon, when their class used to get over after the last lesson, when the class was empty, they used to go lift up the floorboard and see that their secret collection is safe. One day, we found a dead mouse lying there. Thwaites swung it by its tail. What shall we do with it? He cried. It stinks, someone shouted. Throw it out of the window, quick. Hold on, I said. Don't throw it away. Thwaites hesitated. They all looked at me. Why don't we, I said, slip it into one of Mrs. Pratchett's jars of sweets? Then when she puts her hand in to grab a handful, she'll grab a stinky dead mouse instead. So what happens? One day when they are just checking their collection, they see that there is a dead mouse lying there. Now one of the boys is Thwaites. Thwaites was, you can see in the picture, Thwaites is holding the mouse by its tail and he says, what shall we do with it? And it was stinking. Stinks means it gives a very bad smell. Throw it out of the window. So someone said, just throw it out. Now the speaker is a very mischievous child, so he said, hold on, just stop, don't throw it. But Thwaites hesitated. Hesitated means he is not very sure what to do. And everybody is looking, Thwaites hesitated and everybody is looking at the speaker. Now what the speaker says, why don't we slip it into one of Mrs. Pratchett's? Now who is Mrs. Pratchett? There is a sweet shop and Mrs. Pratchett is the owner of the sweet shop. These children, probably they don't like Mrs. Pratchett. So they said, we are going to put it in her jar of sweets. So when she puts her hand in to get the handful of chocolates, maybe she will get a stinky mouse, a bad smelling dead mouse. Mrs. Pratchett owned the sweet shop. She never smiled or greeted us when we went to the store. When she spoke, she said things like keep your thieving fingers off the chocolates, or either show me your money or get out. So Mrs. Pratchett is the owner of the sweet shop, as I told you, and this lady never smiled. She did not greet the children. Whenever she saw the children, she used to tell them, keep your thieving fingers. You get the word thieving from thief. You all know who is a thief. So she says thieving fingers. That means your fingers which are wanting to steal. Thieving is an adjective here. Thieving fingers off the chocolates. So she always told the children, keep your fingers away from the chocolates. Or sometimes she would say, show me your money first. Do you have money? Or just get out. So they did not like this lady. The other four stared at me in wonder. Then, as the sheer genius of the plot began to sink in, they all started grinning. They slapped me on the back. They cheered me and danced around the classroom. We'll do it on the way home today, they cried. You had the idea, they said to me. So you can be the one to put the mouse in the jar. So the other four friends, in the beginning we saw, no? 4 friends and I, the speaker is telling. So here he says, the other 4 friends, they are staring at him. They are all surprised, by his idea. And the sheer genius. Then as the sheer genius means the complete genius of the plot, they all started understanding what he meant. And they started grinning. They are all smiling with all naughty smiles on the faces. Slapping the speaker on the back and dancing around. And they said, while we are going home today, we are going to do this. And because they told the speaker, because this is your idea, so you will be putting the mouse in the jar. I put the mouse into my trouser pocket and we headed for the sweet shop. We were excited as we entered the shop. Mrs. Pratchett stood behind the counter. 1 toffee, please, Thwaites said to her, holding out his penny. As soon as Mrs. Pratchett turned her head away to fish a toffee out of the box, I lifted the glass lid of the Gobstopper's jar and dropped the mouse in. Then I replaced the lid as silently as possible. My heart was thumping and my hands had gone all sweaty. So now this speaker, he had put the mouse into his trouser pocket. Then they went to the sweet shop. So all before entering the sweet shop, they were very excited. No, they are going to do something naughty. So they are very excited. And Mrs. Pratchett was standing behind the counter. Now Thwaites has a penny. So they wanted to grab her attention. He took out a penny and he said, 1 toffee, please. So Mrs. Pratchett, now she had to turn her head to fish a toffee. That means she was going to take out a toffee out of the box. So as she was turning around to take out the toffee, the speaker, what he did, he quickly lifted the glass lid of the Gobstopper's jar. Now Gobstoppers is a kind of candy. So he lifted the lid and quickly put the mouse in, and slowly, without making any noise, he replaced the lid again back in its position, and the heart was thumping. No? When you're doing something naughty, your heart is beating very fast. So his heart was thumping and his hands had gone all sweaty. There was sweat. He was sweating. And 1 bootlace, please, I heard Thwaites saying. When I turned around, I saw Mrs. Pratchett holding out the bootlace. I don't want all the lot of you trooping in here if only one of you is buying, she screamed at us. Go on, get out. So Thwaites is asking for a bootlace, again a kind of chocolate. So then they said she was giving, and Mrs. Pratchett was she always used to fumble around. No, she did not like this. So she said, 1 boy has come for the chocolates. Why are all of you here? Just get out of here. So as soon as we were outside, we broke into a run. Did you do it? They shouted at me. Of course I did. Well done you, they cried. What a super show. I felt like a hero. It was marvelous to be so popular. The next morning we pressed our faces against the window and looked inside. Mrs. Pratchett was nowhere to be seen. So when they came out, all the friends quickly, they are asking, did you do that? And he said, yes, I have done. And they said, very good, it's a super show. And he was feeling like he's the hero, no? He's done such a naughty thing and he's feeling marvelous to be very popular. The next morning, they were all pressing their faces against the window. They tried to see where Mrs. Pratchett is, but she was not seen anywhere. The glass jar of Gobstoppers was smashed, with the dead mouse lying in the wreckage and hundreds of many-coloured Gobstoppers littering the floor. She got such a shock when she grabbed hold of the mouse that she dropped everything, somebody was saying. But why didn't she sweep it all up and open the shop, I asked. Nobody answered me. I no longer felt like a winner. When they were trying to find, Mrs. Pratchett was not there, but somebody told them that the glass jar of Gobstoppers was smashed. It was broken with the dead mouse lying in the wreckage. Wreckage means when something is falling, no, there's a wreckage, everything is just spoiled, badly damaged, and hundreds of Gobstoppers were littering the floor, making it dirty. But this lady had got a shock when she tried to take out the Gobstopper. She had held the mouse in her hand and she dropped everything. But then they were thinking, why didn't she sweep it up and open the shop? Now he is not feeling like a winner. He's afraid what has happened. We heard the school bell ringing and we had to gallop the rest of the way. At the end of the assembly, Mr. Coombs, the headmaster, made an announcement. The whole school is to line up around the playground immediately, he said sternly. We did as we were told. A door led out from the school onto the playground. Suddenly it swung open, and through it strode Mr. Coombs, and beside him was Mrs. Pratchett. He led her at a brisk walk down the line of boys. It was like someone inspecting the troops. Suddenly she let out a high-pitched yell and pointed a finger at Thwaites. That's him, she yelled. That's one of them. Then Mrs. Pratchett's eyes flicked over and settled on my face. I looked down at the surface of the playground. That one there, she yelled, pointing at me. And him, and him, and him. See, she was shrieking, no? She said, stabbing her finger at the other three. I have got their names, said Mr. Coombs. So see, the trap is out. When they went, what happened? They heard the school bell ringing. They had to walk far. They had to run fast to the school. When they reached there, they saw Mr. Coombs. He makes an announcement. The whole school lines up and on the playground. And as they were told, they were standing in the line. Suddenly the door opens and Mr. Coombs comes with Mrs. Pratchett beside him. She walked around. You can see that sentence. He led her at a brisk walk down the line of boys, and it was someone inspecting the troops. Like the inspector comes, no, to check all of them, whether they are in uniform, properly dressed. Same way Mrs. Pratchett was walking briskly, and first she pointed a finger at Thwaites, and then her eyes reached the face of the speaker and him and other three also. So they are all found out and they are caught by the principal. Their names are found. So this was not funny, no, they wanted to have some fun, but now they are punished. They are punished because they are found out. So they are now in big trouble. So we should always avoid playing pranks, no. We should not play pranks. We should try to be humble. Now children, what you have to do is you need to read the story properly, carefully, underline the difficult words so that you can learn the spellings for yourself. If you remember, I have already told you the level of difficulty is different for different children. For some children, some words are very easy, but for the others, the same words can be difficult. So whichever word you find difficult in the chapter, you please underline and learn the spellings. Because again, when you have a spelling test, you are worried, which spellings will come from the word meanings or from the chapter. You should not be worried. When you are reading a lesson, you should know the spellings of all the words that are given in the chapter. You should know the pronunciation of all the words that are given in the chapter. Okay, please take that pen, take your pencil, underline the words, whichever you find difficult, whichever spelling you don't know, and learn all the spellings. And if you are doing your work regularly, you will not have any problem when your exams and tests approach. Okay, there are some questions which are given along with the lesson. You try to find out those answers. That will be your homework. You will try to find out those answers. I will discuss with you in the next session. Okay, you don't have to write anything. You just try to find out, because those who have followed the lesson properly, they will get the answers. I would like to get the answers. Maybe when we are having an online interaction, I can ask the answers from you. So I hope you enjoyed the story. Read carefully, practice reading, learn the spellings. Take good care of yourselves, children, and be safe. Thank you, and that's all for today.